Hello, and welcome to the MyBFF Business Leaders Podcast, your new secret weapon for business success. Sponsored by MyBFF Social Media, Marketing, and Advertising. Make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get started.
All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into something I think a lot of you out there are going to relate to.
Oh, yeah.
The wild and often frustrating world of social media for small businesses.
You said it.
I mean, come on. Who hasn't wanted to chuck their phone across the room after wrestling with Meta's customer service?
Right.
Ugh. It's like talking to a brick wall sometimes.
More like a black hole.
That's actually a perfect analogy because that's exactly what we're going to be unpacking today.
Oh, yeah.
We've got our hands on this really fascinating social media customer service report. It's packed with insights about the good, the bad, and the ugly of dealing with these social media giants.
I'm intrigued.
And we're also going to be taking a look at this eye-opening article from MarTech that kind of echoes a lot of the report's findings, especially when it comes to customer service.
Sounds juicy.
Oh, it is, believe me. And I think this deep dive is going to be particularly relevant for any small business owner out there who's ever felt like they're drowning in a sea of algorithms and unhelpful chatbots.
I mean, who hasn't?
Right, like you're stuck in this digital maze and you can't find your way out.
And you're screaming for help, but no one can hear you.
Exactly. And the thing is, these aren't just minor annoyances. We're talking about issues that can seriously impact a small business's bottom line.
Oh, absolutely. The report actually found that almost 70% of small businesses have experienced significant revenue loss due to problems with their social media accounts.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
It does, and I've seen it firsthand. Businesses losing potential customers, missing out on sales, all because they're stuck in customer service limbo.
So let's get specific and really break down where these platforms are going wrong. The report really hones in on Meta's security protocols and how often even legitimate users get locked out of their accounts.
Yeah, it's a common complaint.
I mean, are they seriously trying to make it impossible to log in? What's the deal with that?
Well, they claim it's all in the name of security, right? Trying to prevent fraud and protect user data.
But there has to be a better way. I mean, the report suggests that these protocols are so convoluted that they end up hurting the very businesses they're supposed to be helping.
It's true. The constant ID and password resets the two-factor authentication from a device you haven't used in years. It's a digital obstacle course.
Seriously. It's like they expect every small business owner to have a degree in cybersecurity just to access their own account.
Right. And then even when you finally manage to jump through all those hoops, you're often met with, well, nothing.
Or worse, a chatbot that's about as helpful as a screen door on a submarine.
Ha! You're telling me that I swear those things are designed to drive you bonkers.
Okay, can we talk about the chatbots for a second? Because I have to vent about this. The other day, I was trying to get help with an issue on my Instagram account.
Oh boy, here we go.
And I swear, I spent like an hour going back and forth with this chatbot that just kept giving me these canned responses that had absolutely nothing to do with my problem.
Ugh, it's the worst.
And the thing is, it's not just Meta. Google's got its fair share of customer service woes, too.
Oh yeah, the MarTech article really called them out on that.
They said that both Meta and Google are guilty of what they call the customer service abyss, which is basically what we were just talking about. You know, you get sucked into this black hole of automated responses and unhelpful FAQs.
And you never actually get to talk to a real human being.
Exactly. It's like they've outsourced their customer service to robots who just don't get the nuances of running a small business.
And it's especially problematic when you consider the tiered customer service system that a lot of these platforms operate on.
Okay, break that down for me. What's a tiered customer service system?
Basically, it means that the amount of money you spend on advertising dictates the level of support you receive.
So if you're not shelling out big bucks, you're basically invisible.
Pretty much. The report actually uses the analogy of a VIP club where only the high rollers get access to the red carpet treatment.
So us little guys are just stuck in the general admission line with a lukewarm drink ticket.
Exactly. And that's a major problem because it means that small businesses, who are often the ones who need the most help, are the ones who are getting the least.
And it's not just about feeling ignored. The report found that a staggering 85% of small business owners feel like they're being ignored by Meta's support team.
That's a lot of frustrated business owners.
It is. And one of the quotes that really stuck with me from the report was this business owner who said, "It's like I'm trapped in a customer service black hole."
I feel that.
Right? And it's not just about feeling ignored. This lack of support translates into real consequences, lost revenue, wasted time, and ultimately a sense of powerlessness.
Absolutely. And that feeling of powerlessness can be really damaging, especially for entrepreneurs who are already working incredibly hard to keep their businesses afloat.
It's like they're constantly getting penalized for simply trying to run their business.
Right. And that's why it's so important for small businesses to have someone in their corner, someone who understands the intricacies of these platforms and can advocate for their needs.
Someone who can speak chatbot, decipher algorithms, and navigate the treacherous terrain of Meta's customer service maze.
You need a BFF in the world of digital marketing.
And you know what? That's a perfect segue to our sponsor for today's deep dive.
Hit me with it.
We're back and, diving deeper into this social media customer service report. It's kind of like watching a horror movie unfold.
Oh, tell me about it. It's enough to make you want to swear off social media altogether.
Right. Like, seriously, is it even worth the hassle?
Well, the report doesn't sugarcoat it. They acknowledge that these customer service nightmares can have a real psychological impact on small business owners.
Okay, now this is where it gets interesting because we've talked about the financial hit. But what about the emotional toll? Like, how's this messing with people's heads?
Well, imagine this. You're pouring your heart and soul into your business, right? Working around the clock, trying to make your dream a reality.
Yeah.
And then, bam, you get hit with an account suspension or some other inexplicable roadblock from these platforms. It can feel like a personal attack.
Oh, totally. Like, hey, Meta, I'm just trying to sell some handmade jewelry here, not overthrow a government.
Exactly. And when you combine that feeling of being targeted with the utter lack of support, it can create a real sense of helplessness.
Like you're just banging your head against a wall.
The report actually uses the term learned helplessness, where you start to believe there's nothing you can do to change your situation.
So you just got to give up and say, all right, Meta, you win. I'll just go back to my cave and cry over my unsold earrings.
Haha, it can definitely lead to that kind of resignation, which is incredibly damaging because when you stop believing you can succeed, you're less likely to take risks, try new things, or even bother reaching out for help.
And that's the opposite of what entrepreneurship is all about, right? It's about hustling, experimenting, pushing boundaries.
Precisely, but when you're stuck in this cycle of frustration and powerlessness, it's hard to maintain that entrepreneurial spirit. It's like trying to run a marathon with a lead weight strapped to your ankle.
But the report doesn't just dwell on the doom and gloom, does it? I mean, surely there's got to be a way out of this digital dungeon.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where the report really shines. It offers some practical advice for small businesses on how to navigate these challenges and even thrive in this crazy social media landscape.
All right, give me the good stuff. What's the secret sauce?
Well, one of their key recommendations is to focus on building a strong brand presence outside of these platforms. So think email lists, your own website, even good old-fashioned networking.
So basically, don't put all your eggs in the Meta basket.
Exactly. Diversifying your marketing channels is essential because let's face it, you never know when Meta might decide to change the algorithm, suspend your account, or just make your life generally miserable.
It's like that saying, hope for the best, but prepare for the Metapocalypse.
Haha, exactly. And the report also emphasizes the importance of community connecting with other small business owners who are going through the same struggles can be incredibly empowering.
It's like a support group for social media survivors.
In a way, yes. Sharing your experiences, getting advice, and knowing you're not alone in this can make a huge difference.
And don't forget, we also have the amazing resource that is MyBFF Social. They're like the social media fairy godmother every small business wishes they had.
It's true. They really do take the stress and guesswork out of digital marketing.
All right, so we've got diversifying community building. What else does the report recommend?
Well, they also encourage small businesses to focus on creating high-quality, engaging content that resonates with their target audience.
So basically, don't just post random cat memes and hope for the best.
Exactly. It's about having a clear strategy, understanding what your audience wants, and delivering content that provides value. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep people coming back for more.
Makes sense. But what about those pesky algorithms? Any tips on how to appease the social media gods?
Well, the report suggests focusing on organic reach whenever possible. That means engaging with your followers, responding to comments, and building authentic connections.
So basically be a real human being, not just a faceless brand pushing product.
Exactly. It's about fostering a sense of community and making people feel like they're part of something special.
And let's be honest, that's something that's often missing in the world of social media, especially when you're dealing with these giant impersonal platforms.
It's true, and that's why having a partner like MyBFS Social can be so invaluable. They understand the importance of that human touch, and they know how to create a social media presence that feels authentic and engaging.
Speaking of which, we've got something special for our listeners who are tired of feeling like they're banging their heads against the meta wall.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
We're back. And you know what I was just thinking?
What's that?
We've been really deep in the weeds, like knee-deep in the muck of algorithms and customer service complaints.
Yeah,
Maybe it's time to step back for a second, look at the bigger picture.
You're right. Sometimes you need that wider lens,
Totally. And the social media customer service report actually does a really good job of this.
Oh, yeah.
They connect what's happening in the digital marketing world to some of these broader societal trends we're seeing.
Interesting. So what are they saying?
Well, they argue that these issues small businesses are facing with these tech giants are actually just a symptom of a much larger problem.
I can see that.
Like what they call a growing power imbalance between giant corporations and, Well, everyone else.
Yeah, it's like David and Goliath, but Goliath has a team of lawyers and an army of bots.
Right, exactly. And small businesses are left feeling like they're just pawns in this game. They can't win.
And that lack of customer service they talked about, it just makes everything worse.
Right, because it's like you're trying to navigate this complex system, but you're completely in the dark.
You're stumbling around blindfolded, basically.
Totally. And so the report makes this really strong case for greater transparency from these companies.
Makes sense.
And accountability, too. And most importantly, they say we need human-centered support systems.
Yes, we need to talk to actual people, not just bots.
Preach. Because behind every small business out there is a real person with a real dream.
Absolutely.
And those dreams, they deserve to be supported, not crushed by all this digital chaos.
Well said.
And speaking of supporting dreams, I think we all know where I'm going with this.
Haha, yep. Sounds like it's time for another shout out to our favorite social media superheroes.
You got it. My BFF Social, they get it. They understand the struggles because they've been there themselves.
And they're fighting the good fight, helping small businesses navigate this crazy digital world.
So if you're ready to ditch the frustration and embrace a more supportive and empowering approach to social media, head over to www.mybfsocial.com.
Tell them the deep dive sent ya.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier, the importance of community.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
The report really emphasizes this, how important it is for small businesses to support each other and learn from each other's experiences.
It's like that old saying, it takes a village, right?
Exactly. And honestly, some of the best advice I've ever gotten has come from other entrepreneurs who are out there in the trenches doing the thing.
Totally. It's so valuable to connect with people who get it.
And you know who else gets it?
My BF Social.
Bingo. They're more than just a marketing agency. They're a community of passionate small business advocates.
It's true. They're always there to lend a helping hand.
So if you're looking for that kind of support, head over to www.mybfsocial.com and see what they're all about.
All right, folks, that's a wrap for this deep dive into the wild world of social media for small businesses.
It's been real.
Thanks for joining us.
And remember, if you're feeling lost or frustrated out there, you don't have to go it alone. My BFF Social is here to help.
Visit them at www.myfsocial.com and tell them we sent you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay social, and keep on hustling.